In this video, I become a Minecraft fairy tale wizard. Using the Electro Blob's wizardry mod, I'm given one element of magic to focus on. And with 2 guild friends, we quest to slay all the Twilight bosses and earn our place as S-class wizards. So here we are, in Minecraft fairy tale. There's no messing around at the beginning of this video, everyone's out for themselves. But we have steps to take. So the first thing we do, obviously in Minecraft, is we punch some trees and we get ourselves some wood. Then we head to the close by village and start getting food, because that means we can get into the mines really fast. Punching a couple pigs, grabbing some wheat and bread. Now it's time to head into the cave. We find our first cave and I realize, wait, come on Richie, you play Minecraft. Make a pickaxe, stop being an idiot. I make my first pickaxe finally and we head into the caves, get the normal resources. We need coal, we need lots of iron. Lots and lots of iron. Obviously, we're gonna want to get a full set of armor. Now we get our first fight. It's a skeleton that almost murders us, and then I realize there's a second one. So we have to play it smart here, building up a little bit of a wall to escape this skeleton, get our health back, and survive. This skeleton almost killed us. It could have been over, but now it's time we can set up. We're starting to get a bunch of iron. We're smelting it all together. We're smelting our food. We're gonna get a full set of iron armor and tools before we head to the surface. And now we're on the surface. Here we are, at our first structure. This is the Electro Blob's Wizardry Magic mod. We're looking for spells. We didn't find any in this one, unfortunately, but we found our first wizard. This wizard can trade with books to give us spells, which can get us our element. What I didn't realize is that I'm a dum-dum. We're gonna need a lot more resources. Gold is huge for trading. So, once I do a little bit more surface grinding, looking for spells, stealing a arcane workbench to make spells, and thus the wizard attacks me. Doesn't like it when I take his stuff, kinda like a piglin, but that's okay. That's fine. We'll deal with him. And back into the mines we go. This is where I found my first staff. It's an apprentice staff, so that's the max level of spell that we can use currently. But, it's our first bit of magic. And we get into a little fight with a spider, but that's okay. We're fine. We're fine. And now, we finally found some diamonds. Talk about luck, because the creeper blows up in our face, but we got some diamonds. And then we got some amethyst, a rare wizardry mod resource. This resource can be used to trade for even rarer spells. It's going to be useful later on. And after a whole bunch of mining, we head right back to the surface and start finding more spells. This is where we find our first spell, a really good spell, plus some scrolls and some other magical items. We're back to trading with wizards. I found a really great spell from my friend Seeker. They are an ice mage in this, which means I got them the Frost Blast spell. I got into an intense epic battle with a bunch of wizards. A free-for-all, everyone for themselves. This was the Minecraft Hunger Games with the wizard mod. Now, I managed to take one out no problem, and the other 2, one of them won. But then it was just a 1v1 between me and this other wizard. He had a fire spell around him, so I couldn't attack him. And he was trying to use other magic. He's used frost on me, and it made it so that I can no longer jump. And then blinded me. I can't see, I can't jump, what am I supposed to do? I had to lead him towards me. I couldn't get up there, I couldn't hit him anymore. He's trying to use fire on me, but I'm dodging. But then I take a step down, and I cannot stop this fight. So, we just have to lead him towards me. He's blinded me again. I can't see what's going on. I'm terrified. My friend has died. It's all going downhill, but here we are. Finally, he's come at me, and I can finish it off. The fight is over.
Alright guys, it's been some time, but we're back together.
Why are you yelling at me?
Are we ready? What, I'm yelling at you because I'm excited.
You excited? What do we do, Colin? What do we just do?
Well, we did a lot. I mean, look at us. We all got kitted. We all got some armor. Zeke's got some diamond armor. We got some magic. We got some tools and everything.
Big axe.
That's what I forgot to enchant, my sword. That's okay. Wow.
So at this point, my friend Colin built this whole fairy tale guild for us. We have our own magic guild hall to start going on quests. Now we have big quests to do, and we have bosses to fight. My friend Colin was a fire wizard, and I am an earth mage. So here I got the spell Vine, which allows me to yeet myself towards people and pull them towards me. My friend Seeker is an ice mage, getting Frost Blast, but now I can show you the real power of my spells. This is the boulder. The boulder is awesome because it crushes every enemy in its path and demolishes blocks. Well, I almost destroyed our house because I was thinking about doing it that way. Luckily, I didn't. And now it's time to go to the Twilight Forest, and I realized we didn't put water in the hole. But now we did, and off we can go. It's time for our quest to begin, now that we have our magic. Here we are, in the Twilight Forest. Pretty nice biome, good start, first boss up. It's the Naga. Now, there was quite a few wizards in here, which means a lot of magic was going down and I had to survive. It wasn't too hard though, we have our wings, we flew over to the Naga, and here is our first boss fight. Now, it was a difficult area for me to use my magic, because some of it doesn't go over, but we did a pretty good amount of damage. This was our Wind Blast, knocks them away, and our Forest Curse did a huge chunk of overtime damage. But it really is the boulder's time to shine. Earthquake knocking up the ground, but the boulder does get that final smack. Here it goes, just crushing the Naga, and that is our first boss down. We move forward, we're on our way to the Twilight Lich Tower. Now, this is a pretty special area, we have to break our way in now that we've got the achievement, and we've got to fight our way through. We get attacked by a creeper instantly. Luckily, everyone's okay because our armor is iron and fine. Now we have to make our way to the boss room. Now, it's usually all the way at the top. Breaking some spawners, there's skeletons in our way, but they're not really a problem for any of us, especially with our big axes. Now, it's not a great place to use magic, because we're on wood, but we finally get to the Twilight Lich. Now, a blizzard comes in, he's frozen, I'm smacking him with quakes. It's kind of chaos when the Cyclone Blast comes in, but we're using all of our magic to our advantage. My Forest Curse did a huge chunk of damage, and then the boulder just splats him, but he's summoning his friends. So how do we beat this guy? I just keep throwing boulders at him. And then we just smack him a couple of times. Not the tough enough boss, but a little bit of a difficult boss room. This isn't where the video gets difficult though, as you will see to come. It's time for us to go for the Minnow Shroom. The Minnow Shroom is another little dungeon. This one was even more complicated because we have to find the ways down. It's a maze down here. But our Quake was really useful in fighting off a lot of enemies, until they started swarming me from behind. I didn't realize this was going to happen. These guys were really tough. This was where our armor started to kind of show that it wasn't ready for the next fights, but we did eventually get through and find our way. Luckily quaking that creeper away so it doesn't blow up in my face, and finishing off the rest of the enemies on our way to the boss room, which was right here. The Mushroom Minotaurs. Not a difficult fight. Honestly, this was probably the easiest one. Great for our magic, easy hits, not much health. Didn't really do much damage either. The ground may have been broken, but we got that really easily. Now, we had to figure out how to get the achievement, which I realized, after a little while, we might have got some cool axes and stuff, but it's the soup. We must eat the soup. That's where we get the achievement. Not hard to figure it out. Meat stroganoff tasted amazing. And then, our way to the Hydra. This was where things got difficult. Because, Hydra on ground. Me, Earth Mage. All my magic is on the ground. Hydra's heads are the hitbox in the sky. I can't do anything to this thing. I am useless in this fight. I try to use my magic, but it really doesn't do much. Even when he's frozen, Quake just can't damage him because the hitboxes are in the sky. And he hits hard. Our armor was stretched. Now, our grapple spell did do a little bit of damage. It was allowing us to clinch onto that head, but it wasn't enough. But then I remembered, wait, I can fly. So I flew up to those heads and I started slashing with my giant axe. I did all that I could. My friend was dying. Colin, even though he was the fire wizard, couldn't fight this Hydra. His armor wasn't holding up and he was going up in flames. Luckily, it wasn't hard to get back here, but we had to finish this thing off. As you can see, hit that final blow, blew everything up, and the Hydra was slain. And that Hydra head is going to come in real handy very soon. We finally get into the Nether. It's a pretty nice place, and we got really lucky for there to be a Nether fortress right as we get in. This was where we could get our blaze powders ready for the Ender Eyes. And then we needed Ender Pearls. This got difficult. Ender Pearls were rare. So rare, in fact, that it took quite a while to actually find quite a few. Endermen weren't easy to get. They only came out at night for the most part, but we ended up finally grinding out a few. As you can see, we threw them all at our buddy Seeker the Ice Mage, and it was their job. And after that, we had a couple new spells and new equipment. We got new armor because we were going to fight the Ender Dragon, the final Minecraft boss. It was time to start throwing Ender Pearls and finding the stronghold. Which we finally did, and then I made a dumb decision to throw my vine down in a hole, and we kinda got stuck for a while, me and my buddy Sika, but it was fine, cause our buddy Colin finally got us down into the stronghold, and we made it. Now, we got a little unlucky with the stronghold portal. There was no ender pearls already in there. Luckily, we overcompensated and had enough, and it was time for me to fail my vine and pull myself in. Luckily, we have wings, so we don't have to bridge our way over, and now I'm going to attempt something really, really cool. I flew up after vining and tried to snipe this thing, and it really failed. I'm not good at this, okay? I have no aim, but this was another fight that was super difficult for me. It's a flying dragon. My magic's not useful, so I had to resort to my brand new bow. Now, I had a really great bow, but this was a tough task, especially when my arrows started just flopping off of the ender dragon. But after a few more shots, we finally took him down, and that was it. We'd beaten Minecraft. We had won. But it wasn't all over. No, we might get all that XP, there might be a lot of endermen around, but we are powerful wizards. Beating Minecraft isn't enough. There are far more bosses in this game with mods. So it's back to the Twilight Forest we have to go, because this is not the end. I pick up that Hydra trophy because our next boss needs it, and we head into the Roofed Forests. Now, this is where we find another stronghold. Goblins everywhere. Goblins. And I troll my friend. Placing down the Hydra trophy opens up this area, and they almost explode. But it does take us into this new underground cave. Similar to the Ministroom area, it's a little bit of a maze, but a little bit more simple, and we find our way to the Night Phantom's hideout. Having to fight a few little hermit crabs along the way, our magic came in handy, and this was a fight that I could participate in. Quake, Boulder, Fangs, Earthquake, all of my magic was great in a room like this. I can finally show what I'm capable of. Because I had really, really powerful spells, but a lot of these flying enemies just made it difficult. After beating the Night Phantom, we realized it dropped a chest. And in this chest was incredible items, pickaxes and armor. So we grabbed that and moved on to the Erdgast. Now the Erdgast was a giant ghast, flying in the sky. So once again, I am useless. Just totally useless. Using my bow once again, and this thing was tanky. It took hits, but after whittling it down enough with my bow and the other guy's magic, we finally beat the Erdgast. One more arrow shot, and it falls to the ground. Now, the Erdgast also had a chest. I didn't realize though, I got the final blow, so I tried to steal all the items, not needing the achievement, and we move on to the Alpha Yeti. Now my boulder did really good work here, but as I tried to fight the Alpha Yeti, all I got was met with young Yetis that just kept throwing me away. They were so annoying. They did no damage. I was too strong, but they just kept throwing me. The annoyance was there, my boulder crushing the ice, and we finally just claw up this Alpha Yeti. This was probably one of the easiest bosses. I think we did it out of order because we could have done this ages ago. But we beat the Alpha Yeti, we got its fur, and it was finally time to move on. We're in the cold, which means up next is the Snow Queen. Now, this was a really complicated fortress. It's massive, it's colorful, and there were so many different routes. And there was my worst nightmare. If you've seen my TikTok, you know I am terrible at parkour. But I do parkour TikTok Q&As, so if you want to check that out, you can. But after fighting off a bunch of enemies, finally get to parkouring all the way up to the top, and then we gave up and tried to dig through the top instead, and we finally found the Snow Queen. Now the Snow Queen was kind of half and half, could float, could be on the ground, so it was a difficult fight, a very hard one, hard fought, but the magic was able to do some damage, especially when it went lower and my claws just clinched them. The Snow Queen was a tough fight, but with all of our magic and just swinging our weapons, we were able to take it down. Eventually. But there was a lot of friendly fire in the process. Fire just burning my skin, and then almost being sabotaged, knocked away into a corner. No ice, no water to heal me, but we survived. We survived. Now, the Snow Queen is dead. And that was the final boss. But wait, isn't there one more in the Twilight Forest? There is. There is one more fortress that we had to go to. But before that, we needed to get the achievement. And Colin dropped the head. So we had to go and find it for a while. But we eventually found it. And that trophy and achievement was ours. And as we approached the final fortress, heading straight in, it was realized that this mod was incomplete, and the final boss was not in the fortress, so we had won the challenge.